What's happening, everybody, and welcome to CFC Fan TV. We're sorry we have been so quiet, but Sophie turned 45.
No, I turned 27. How rude.
Before we start this video, we have some really exciting news for you. Listen to this. You could be coming to Cobham with us to watch Chelsea train. If you want to enter, all you have to do is head over to our Instagram page. The link is in the description below. Comment and like the post that you can see now, and we could be picking you, and we could all be heading to Cobham together. If you are unlucky and you do not win that competition, please comment below and let us know what questions you would like to ask to what player. Now, over to Sophie with some big transfer news.
Yes, me and Charlie have actually reported this for quite a few years, but it seems like it might be materialising into something. So that player is Pulisic. Have I said that right?
You said it perfectly.
Amazing. He plays right wing. He's a decent player. He's only 20, and we're looking to sign him for around 70 million, which is quite a huge fee. And
obviously we need to get a wiggle on with this because we could be in trouble with our transfer. You know, we've had a few issues with RORY and Bertrand and whatever. So we need to be a bit careful because we may be banned from signing players. So I think we want to get this one over the line as quickly as possible. I think it could be a good signing. It doesn't inspire me quite as much.
No, is he doing all right? He's not doing the best at the moment, is he?
Well, the thing is,
well against England.
He did play very well against England, despite the fact that they got battered. But my issue with it is the odd occasion that I've seen Dortmund play this year. The star, from like the jewel in the crown of their performances, has been that Jadon Sancho. Mm-hmm. So it's not quite as inspiring as it could be, but there's no doubt that Pulisic is a very good player. The future will be very interesting for him because he's so young. You know, he's been at Dortmund since about, 16? We've been hearing of this American whiz kid. Mm-hmm. And he's finally coming to fruition. They're having quite a good season. And, you know, he's a right winger. It's a position where we could do with some improvement. I think I'm not one of these Willian detractors. I find it quite frustrating when you get, you know, big gobs on Twitter and that, always slating him. I find it really annoying. But I rate Willian, but I think we need competition, and it's a squad game. And if our season goes as we hope it will, we're going to play in excess of 50 games this season. Yeah. So Pulisic should be great.
To be fair, I'm sort of glad that this one is sort of it's not something that's completely out there. It's, like I said, it's a player that we've been talking about for ages, and it does seem like it's going to happen. I think the club actually have made some very good signings last summer. If we are getting our act together, you know, we've made, how many bad signings have we made over the past few years? There's been quite a few, and they've been very rushed and more panic buys, I think. Even I would say Giroud, even though I think Giroud is great, that was sort of just a switch deal. You know, not really anything was standing out for me. But this one, I think, bearing in mind the fact that he's young, and we all know how the club feel about signing older players, I think they're looking, you know, towards the future, and they're looking more long term, and that's what we don't really want to be having to change players every other year. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I think it is something that is very appealing for us. I think I agree with you, Willian. I don't hate Willian at all. I think he's a fantastic player, but I think we've been very lucky so far as to injuries. I think when Pedro's been injured, for instance, I think that has affected our performance. And if we had somebody else that could step in, if Willian isn't the number one choice, although, like I said, nothing against him, I think he'd be a very good signing. And if he's young, I think he could develop. And if anything's gone from how Sarri's been, you know, training the lads and how they've been playing underneath him, they've been really good. I think we've seen performances out of players that we wouldn't have done without him. So I'm pretty impressed.
I think that's the point as well, Sophie. I think that he, you know, this Pulisic lad has done very well, and I think that he will fit into our system perfectly. You know, he likes to knock the ball around, and the way that Sarri likes to play, I think it could be like a matrimony made in heaven. Oh,
that's a lovely saying.
No, it could work.
No,
it could work very well.
I think Sarri's system's so important. Now we're playing a more attacking style of football. We're attracting those sorts of players, I think, and I think why wouldn't they want to come and play exciting football under a manager that actually doesn't? He's very, like, I love Sarri. He's very low profile. You know, doesn't particularly dress up well, although you might not appreciate that. But I think players are he'd probably get the best out of players. I think that sort of manager.
Do you know what? I can't believe what I'm going to say here, and please understand that I'm talking specifically within the context of football.
What are you going to say?
I'm going to say that it's very cheap. £70 million in today's market for a 20-year-old international, proven in the European leagues. It's a bargain. I know that sounds mental. I'm talking about £70 million, but he's 20 years old. If you end up you could get in excess of a decade of service out of a player for £70 million.
No, that is good. Well, I think that, if you compare Kepa, he's very young. He's a long-term investment.
He just became the Spanish number one.
Which is amazing. And I don't know if you guys remember. Do you remember, Raw, when I went on Sky Sports during the transfer window in the summer?
I do.
I was comparing him to the likes of De Gea and saying that I think, you know, if he establishes himself well in the Premier League, he could work his way up to be that level. And already, I mean, I didn't expect it to be this close in. We've only been playing for a couple of months, but he's already there.
He's been a breath of fresh air, hasn't he? And I don't know, you know, you could compare him we could compare him to a summer's day. I went very classic. But no, I mean, he's been fantastic. He really has been a brilliant signing. He's very young, and I think it's so difficult as a keeper to come in because the pressure's on you immediately. It's a very unforgiving position for obvious reasons. And the fact that he's displaced David De Gea, who everybody loves. I find it a little bit tiresome that nobody ever says a bad word about De Gea. He's never at fault for any goal that he's ever conceded. And the fact that he's been displaced in this Spanish side, this Spanish team has some incredible players.
Yeah.
I was so impressed with England getting a result over there against them. But the reason I was so impressed is because I rate them so highly. So the fact that we have the Spanish number one in goal is huge, and like you mentioned, he's so young.
Yeah, we should be putting my Sky interview on replay here, because I had to battle up against him against just Alisson, who's had not the greatest season, I don't think, anyway. So I think my points have been proven now, and he's definitely proved anybody that doubted him wrong.
Mystic Meg.
So I think we need to make sure that we do have some reinforcements, because we do still have it. We are a little bit far. We are still in contention, definitely, to get.
Well, do you know what I was going to say there, Sophie? You're absolutely right. It's so refreshing to have the board back the manager, because I genuinely believe that we're in a title race. I think we're probably the weakest contender for the title, but we are certainly in that conversation. If we get a positive result against Tottenham, it's game on. It really is, because we haven't quite got the results we want in the biggest game so far. Aside from Arsenal, it hasn't quite gone as we'd hope. But if we can change that against Tottenham, we then go into the Christmas period when anything can happen. We then come out of it. If we can then get some reinforcements in January, you can really go for the title. And we're fighting on a lot of fronts. We're hoping to win trophies both home and abroad. This could be a really, really big signing just to help us kick on. You get a bit of new blood in January. You use it as a springboard to go for the trophies that are awarded in May.
Totally, and I'm really excited about it. And what do you think? Okay, let's go for this then. Chances out of 10 of us signing him in January.
Well, I read a Martin Samuel article in the Mail that seemed to suggest it was as good as done. I know things change in football; it constantly changes, and there are no guarantees. But from that article, and I think because of Chelsea's issues in the transfer market, I think we need to get it done. ASAP. So you put me on the spot, but I'm going to go 9 out of 10.
Really?
I'm going to go big.
I would have gone with an 8. I think 9 out of 10 is still a little bit far ahead. Yeah. Right. But the January transfer window, we always have a great time in January, don't we? I mean, I remember last January it was the talks of who was it? Andy Carroll and Peter Crouch and all those lot. I was cracking up.
That was happening. You're right.
Yeah, we were having a bit of a laugh around. But I think this year, this January transfer window will actually be some decent ones. So
it's very exciting. It is very exciting. Just before we let you go, remember, if you want to come to Cobham with us next week, all you have to do is check out the beginning of this video where we show you exactly how to do it. Just head over to our Instagram page and you could be coming to Cobham with us. Thanks to Carabao on Monday.
Yeah. And click the subscribe button, please.